Hey guys, J-Man here, and we're going to be talking about the weekly updates here for X-Men. So I'm just going to pull this up here, get it going. So this is going to be Powers of 10, number 2. I'm going to try to show you the cover. Oh, come on. Oh, there you go. All right. Okay, so if you've been following my updates here weekly, I'm just going to adjust my camera here a bit. If you've been following my weekly updates, I've been keeping up with X-Men, and I've been getting the physical copies now. So the first couple issues of this of the Jonathan Hickman kind of relaunch, I've been waking up really early and getting the digital copies and reading them right away. But and I've also bought the physical copies. But for this, I'm getting the physical copies, so I won't be able to get you the review in the morning because I got to go to the comic store and then I got my day job. But so if you've been following along, you knew that I wasn't like super in yet. Everyone was talking about how this is going to be so amazing. It's going to change X-Men and it's going to, change the whole MCU or Marvel Comics universe, I guess. Not the cinematic one. But so yeah, I wasn't there yet. But I'm definitely there now. So last issue, if you watch my video on it, you can see that I was really pumped. I was super sold. So I was like really jacked up for this one, and it did not disappoint. I don't know how the hell I'm going to even talk about this without some kind of spoilers. I'm trying to go through the issue here. I do have it digitally because I have the code. I'm trying to figure out what I can even tell you. I mean, at this point in time, you're either in or you're out. Like, I don't think there's really going to be a lot of reviewing that's being done. So just to kind of keep up here with our checklist, which you get at the back. So it was House of X, number 1, and then it was Powers of 10, number 1, and then it was House of X, number 2. That was the big one, and it was highlighted in red. That was a big turning point. If you're on the fence, you're definitely in now. Now we're on Powers of 10, number 2, and then the next one is Powers of 10, number 3. So it's a little bit of a change up on the order. Basically, this is awesome. It's an awesome issue. Again, it's just part of a larger story that it's unfolding slowly. Again, I still have the same, if there is a criticism to have, my only criticism is that they just didn't just make this one 12-issue series. I don't see why they had to divide it up into different ones, especially if they're coming out in order anyway. I can understand if there was no order to it, or if you had to read the number 1s and the number 2s, but the fact that you have to read a number 1, a number 1, a number 2, a number 2, and then a number 3 of the same one, I just don't see what the point of it was. But I mean, really, that doesn't really matter. Like if they called it anything else, it doesn't matter. This comic was really awesome. So basically, so spoilers, I guess, if you haven't read or seen my video on the last one, Moira McTaggart is a mutant. Her power is reincarnation. Once she reaches a certain point in her teens, her power manifests. If she gets killed at any point in time, she reboots. She's reincarnated, lives her life again with the memories. So in some lives, she joins up with Charles. In some other lives, she joins up with like Magneto, sometimes Apocalypse. So she's testing the waters. So we're starting off here. I'm not going to go page by page on this, to be honest with you. I'm just because you're going to want to read it yourself. So it's going to open up with Moira and Charles going to talk to Magneto. And basically, they're trying to get Magneto on board. And he's just like, you know what? It ain't going to happen. He's just not going to get on board with this, with Charles. But Moira says, I'm going to, I got a bombshell to drop on you. And then and basically her and Charles drop the bombshell. And then Magneto is able to see all of her lives. So that was very important. And he's kind of on board now. He's like, all right. And then there's a great part where they shake hands. So that's kind of all I'm going to spoil. This is something that you definitely have to read. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it. We're in the middle of this thing. There's a lot to dissect. They go through some sort of, at the end, they go through different intelligent levels for species and for like planets and things like that. I don't really want to go through it really all with you, but they've got like a thing here just talking about, you can't see it because of the lighting. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. So just like types of societies that exist, and there's the so they give you a species intelligence, and then there's like 1, a 10, anywhere from 100 to 10,000. Then there's like the 10,000 and on, and then the intelligence level of 100,000, and then you get to 1 million. And I usually these kinds of things I'm like, they're not needed, but I've been enjoying these sort of exposition or just information pages where they kind of explain to you the thinking. And I'm not gonna. There's something that one of these says that's really neat. I'm not gonna say it. I want you guys to read it for yourselves. If you're at all an X-Men fan or even a Marvel fan, I strongly suggest grabbing these. They're probably going to be sold out. They're probably going to be hard to get. Why don't you get them digitally if you missed out? I feel that digital is a viable way to read. I do all my reading on digital. I usually buy a physical copy on some books only. Currently, the only ones I'm buying physical really that I care about are the X-Men titles. I do get Captain Marvel, just because, and I get Ms. Marvel as well, just because, whatever. But really, these X books are definitely worth having a physical copy. If you're too late and you can't get them on eBay, or if they're too expensive for you, grab the digitals. They're definitely worth it. It's very clear, nice. They're nice. I read everything digitally. I collect like 15, 20 different series on digital. And I think it's great. But yeah, this series is fantastic. Again, this isn't a review. That you can't review something like this. This is just something you're going to have to experience when it's all said and done. We're going to go back through and see what we thought. And again, I encourage you guys to let me know your thoughts. Some people have been letting me know their thoughts, and there's some people have really come up with some really cool ideas. So love to hear more. And I'm not an X-Men expert. I do love the X-Men a lot. More so in my later years now, where I've gone back and reread some of that stuff. And even some of the original X-Men issues, and then obviously the Chris Claremont stuff, and basically Giant Size, which is not Chris Claremont, but whatever. I think it's 97 is after that and on. So I think this is a great jumping on point for X-Men fans. If you're not into Marvel comics, because there are some comics that push certain agendas, right, political, whatever. But if you ignore all that, I think that these are really quality books right now. I don't think they're trying, at least not on the surface, to try to push anything. I think Jonathan Hickman wants to tell a compelling story, and I think that he is. I don't think that he's trying to push some kind of angle like some of the other Marvel titles and even some of the DC titles, I guess, for that matter. But this is good quality stuff, and I definitely highly recommend getting it. And yeah, I think it's great. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, and thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a good one.